Today we're talking about film festival.
That adds color to the story.
Roll sound. Cameras rolling.
Welcome to Butter City, the show all about filmmaking with a Minnesota twist. Today we have Mike Hartzel with us, cinematographer. Welcome to the show, Mike. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
So I know that you're a cinematographer around town, but you're also known as a DP, which is a director of photography.
Right.
For folks that don't know what a DP is.
Right.
What does a DP do?
DP's job is to work with the director, and so that the director's vision is realized on the screen. Because the director primarily is working with the actors on the scene, and but when we're shooting, the director of photography or the cinematographer is really in charge of the vision of the project. And with that, it's really interesting because in different projects, there's different relationships between the director and the DP, as to like how much, control the director really gives up.
Mm-hmm. So for folks that might not be familiar with kind of all the positions, really, you're the one that if it looks really good, it's because you did a really good job. But if it's the story, I mean, you're helping the story to get told, but the story in a lot of ways it's that relationship between the director and the DP.
It really is that that relationship is really important because ultimately I'm there to realize the director's vision on the screen. And so with that, the director is going to have a certain amount of input, and different directors will have more input than others. Some of them will just say, this is the kind of the feel I want for it, go. And other directors will just be in there and they'll be like, no, this is the shot I want to get. I want it to be lit in this fashion, and be a lot more hands-on on the image. So then it's always somewhere in between there is generally where where it really lies on a day-to-day basis.
So it's really a kind of a fine line you're trying to walk. You're trying to both carry out, listen to the director and carry out what the director wants, but at the same time, you have to be able to show up and kind of create an entire style, especially if the director doesn't want to, or may not know how to even go in that direction of how to think about how to use the camera to create that style.
Right.
So
right.
That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but that's also the pre-production process. Where my conversations with the director will over the whole pre-production process will kind of get us to a point that we're going to work from, and then that's what we do on set. So really, in an ideal world, by the time we get on set, we're pretty much just executing a plan, but that plan has all been kind of worked out ahead of time and discussed, and it's all thought out pretty thoroughly, and all of my input is already brought into the project by that point.
So you got started in filmmaking. I mean, you started with photography, just taking photos, right? And then you went to school, decided to go to school for cinematography. Yeah. And you went to the UW.
I started off at University of Maryland, and they got rid of their film program while I was there, so I had to transfer. I grew up on the East Coast too. But at the same time, my father got transferred out here, and so I had to transfer schools. So I just tagged along out to the Midwest and ended up at UW Oshkosh in their film program.
And then came to Minneapolis, which is great because now you've been working on a lot of different independent films as well as some music videos and commercial work. And I mean, it's a great to have your skills here. I know that one of the films you've worked on is a short film called Brothers.
Right.
And you did all the cinematography on this film, and this is a story kind of about two brothers that have a family farm that are, in the middle of development and being asked to, are they going to hang on to this farm or not? Yeah. So let's take a look at this clip and come back and talk a little bit about the cinematography.
Okay, great.
I'm Frank Myers, Senior Agent, Vanden Properties. You probably know us from your neighbors. We're the ones buying up all the farms in this area.
You're the one that bought the Gregor's place.
That's right, and they couldn't be happier with the sale. The next addition to Heavenbrook Acres.
Got work to do.
Oh, I understand. It's just that we have been calling you and writing letters for over a year. My company is prepared to offer you quite a bit of money for your farm, Mr. Kelly. More than double the amount of your neighbors. Well, your farm offers a beautiful view, and that access road can connect up the entire neighborhood. Your farm is the last one on this road, Mr. Kelly. It's time to think about your family's future.
How much are we talking?
Enough so you and your brother won't have to work 2 jobs anymore. I know exactly how you feel. You don't want to be the one to sell, but look around you. Subdivisions, golf courses, strip malls, going in everywhere. All your neighbors are gone. Parents are both passed on. But here you are, working your fingers to the bone, just trying to stay afloat.
We're farmers. That's what we do.
And sell. And buy 10 times the livestock and land 50 miles down the road. Look at those houses over there. Those people. They say they want real country living, but really what they want is a bigger lawn, a little quiet, clean air. They don't want to smell cow coming from your place. Look, Doug, I'm good at what I do. I'll make you and your brothers a bundle of money. Enough so you'll have a future for you and your grandkids.
Mike, you know, this is it's a story that's really delicate. It's about, 2 brothers and something that's been in their family for a long time. And they have to kind of navigate a pretty powerful story about when do you uproot and when do you not uproot. And in order to kind of cover that story, you have to find a style of shooting that really complements that story, as well as complements the vision of the director. And do you want to talk a little bit about how you decided to, how much input did you really get in this, and did the director have a clear vision, or how did that get negotiated?
There's actually 3 brothers in the story, but Troy and I have a great, because the director is Troy Perkins, and he's out of Wisconsin. But he and I have a really good working relationship where it's almost like we're on completely the same page on every project that we approach. So the way I look at the script and break it down and think about the shots that I want to see in there and the way that I think it should be shot is almost always in line with what he's looking to do, and so that really makes a great, easy working relationship, because we always start off at the same point, and then by the time we end up shooting it, we progress on from there. And the look in this film, we just really wanted to get that country feel, just a natural country feel to it, and we weren't really going for, trying to stylize it in any way or anything, but just really capture the story of these 3 brothers and really get across what they're going through in their environment around them.
It's a delicate balance, because it's like you're saying, you don't want to stylize it too much, because if you do, it detracts and people can't actually hear the story. But I think it's a beautiful piece, and I know you guys, both you and Troy, are getting ready to work on another film project together.
Yeah.
So what is that? That sweet spot. It's got to be a beautiful thing when you're like, you get done shooting something and you can look over at the director and you know that you just helped manifest their vision, which is very different than being a director. I think sometimes people think of a director going out there and just, you know, coming up with a vision and creating it. And really, in a lot of ways, what you're doing is you're helping. I mean, you're really helping to give that vision a lens. I mean, it's
Yeah, and I mean, I hope is what I'm able to do is take the director's vision and move it to that next step forward. You know, where, because I mean, the director is paying attention to so many things on getting a movie done. You know, the casting, getting the actors to the place that they need to be, making sure that the locations are right and the wardrobe is right and all the props are right. You know, and there's people obviously to do all that, but it ultimately comes back on the director to say, yeah, that's all right, you know. And so if what I can be doing is actually taking where the director's mind is with the vision of it and progressing that a step forward, if I'm able to do that, that's perfect. You know, that's an ideal world. And so I just always hope I can do that. But it feels really, I mean, the feeling of, you know, when the director, you know, when we get done with the take and the director says that was absolutely incredible, that feeling is just, there's nothing like it. That's the best feeling in the world to me.
That's great, which is why oftentimes you hear these relationships between a director and a specific DP just last a lifetime, because, you know, once you find that mix that works, I mean, people hang on to that.
Yeah.
I know you also do, you know, besides the feature films and the short films and you do a lot of commercial work, but you also do music videos, which can be a whole different ballgame.
It's all, music videos are funny. They're their own little thing. I mean, you can't classify them anywhere else, but they're their own thing, because there's no rules in a music video. You can do anything you want, and that part of it's fun.
Yeah, so like this, we want to take a look at a clip from one of the music videos you shot. But this also, music videos, I mean, when I've talked with you before, music videos can take a long time to shoot.
Yeah.
So this piece, do you want to set up this clip with this music video a little bit about kind of who the band is and what the storyline is?
Yeah, it's a band called Sing It Loud, and it was directed by Justin Pierre and Shane Nelson here in Minneapolis. And Justin Pierre is actually the lead singer for Motion City Soundtrack. And so we shot this in one day, and at a swimming pool, in a backyard, and in a garage. So it's like a garage band set up, big party happening in the backyard, and the little sister of living at the house, you know, and her involvement in all of this and kind of feeling left out. So
let's take a look.
Yeah.
We're getting higher every time that we love, a little closer to the things we fall back on. If you come over, then together we'll take over the world. You call me closer, I said maybe, yeah, but I'm proven wrong by all the things we talk about. The summer air is here, so get your dress on and dance around like no one cares. Come on, come on, come on. You know you've gotta come on, come on, come on, and celebrate, 'cause we are together, made for each other. We can stand alone, and now no one can touch
Mike, that's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to see because it's a great music video, and it's a lot of fun with kids, and specifically the actress Raven, which I know is in a lot of like local films that are getting made. She's great. She performed well.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you do a shoot like this, I know it was like a 12-hour shoot. It was all done in one day, but in order to do that, you had multiple cameras going.
Yeah.
So if you're in charge of all the cinematography for a shoot like this, how do you manage letting these other cameras go off, to shoot something when you know it's got to come back in a certain look?
It's all about just communicating what we're after. In this particular instance, so it was pretty easy because one of the directors, Shane Nelson, was operating one of the cameras. So he did the bulk of the other camera work, but I also had cousin Stephen in doing one of the cameras as well, and so I was just talking to him, telling him what we were after, and then we threw him in the swimming pool to get the underwater stuff. So
nice. I like that. I was like, oh, that's nice little. But that's got to be really tricky because on some level you'd think if you have the director and you send them out with a camera, that it should be golden because it's the director and they've got a vision and and then ultimately they're responsible for what they shoot. But at the same time, you might have a director that wants to go out and shoot, but you're like, yeah, I don't think you should be operating that camera.
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, different directors have different abilities with that, and some directors I work with, if I hand them a camera, they literally don't really know what to do with it because they're really concentrated on what the actors are doing and what the overall vision of the story is. But other directors are really good at it, and they understand the technology, they understand how to use the cameras, and they understand how to get the shots that they want out of the cameras.
And I think it's a trick for, especially if there's folks that are watching this that want to get into filmmaking. It's a good skill to have to be able to operate a camera, at least even a smaller camera, so you can still go out and shoot things. But for beginning filmmakers or filmmakers kind of in the middle of their career to really think about what is that relationship with a cinematographer, because if they pull in somebody that may have a lot more experience, it actually helps their story to get told a lot better.
Right.
I think that's a trick that sometimes filmmakers are late to coming to, is actually pulling in somebody like yourself that just, hey, I got this. I know how to set this up and get the shots that you're going to want, and we can really tell your story.
Yeah. It is important because a director that understands how to use the camera is really important because they understand how to get the shots that they want and how everything's going to work to get there. But it is absolutely true that for many projects, having somebody else being responsible for that is really crucial, because there's so much responsibility that the director has without having to worry about how to shoot it. That if somebody else is taking care of that, it's just a huge load off their backs, and really allows them to concentrate on what they need to concentrate on to really get the best project possible.
Well, I know that you've developed a relationship with several different, directors in town, but one of them is specific to these Dorito contests.
Yes, it's actually two directors on that. It's a director team. It's Ben Kruger and Cole Kohler, and we
which I'm not related to at all.
No,
just to clarify,
just
for
different
folks
Kohler.
watching.
Yeah.
But they're a great duo. They come up with these creative ads, like kind of concepts for doing these commercials, and you guys worked on one Doritos commercial, which actually won the contest to be able to air in the Super Bowl.
Yes, it aired in the Super Bowl in 2010. Is that right? Yeah, that's 2010. In the fourth quarter, and the timing of it couldn't have been better. It was unreal. I was actually up in Canada working on the Olympics during the Super Bowl, and we were out at a bar watching the game, and it came on, and I was just blown away. I wasn't expecting it to come on at all, because I had no idea it was going to air.
Oh, really?
And then all of a sudden, when it came on in the fourth quarter, it had the most viewers of any television, at all, in the U.S. So
wow.
116 million people saw that commercial air.
Well, with that much success with that Dorito video, let's take a look at that.
Ah, Doritos. Thanks.
No problem. Snuck these out of Tim's locker. What's the big deal?
No. This is bad. Tim loves Doritos.
So, who doesn't?
Hide these! We gotta get out of here before...
Damn.
Well, I know because of that success, you guys were invited to make a second one.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the second spot you guys made.
All right, great.
I did it! Did what? Ah, I'm a genius! I just cured baldness! What are you doing? Huh. I just cured having to go to the store for more Doritos.
You're the genius. What are you guys so excited about?
Oh my.
Am I made entirely out of Doritos?
Yeah. Yes!
That's awesome. It makes me like want to check underneath my jacket to make sure I don't have any Doritos because it's a little freaky.
Yeah.
But when you're planning to shoot like that, clearly there's some special effects that happen while you're there, but then there's the special effects that have to be planned for. They're coming in afterwards.
Right.
So how do you, with this kind of spot, how did you adjust for that?
Well, I mean, the stuff that you see there is all real. I mean, we covered the guy in Doritos. We made the Dorito beard and the little patch of hair on the other guy's head. So all of that is actually there. But it's like how we get into it, how we transition into that is where all the special effects come in. And Splice here did a post house here in town. They did a phenomenal job at integrating all of that. And it's just really knowing about what we need to get to allow the post facility to do what they need to do with that effect, and having that communication with the people that are doing it, so that we get them everything that they need.
It's such a tricky relationship. I mean, you're talking about, you have the director that has this vision, you have the cinematographer that has to shoot it, and then you have an editor often that comes in and is also rearranging the story, and it's so, like, you've got to be willing to not only get the shot that you think has to be there, but then also be kind of open to like watching that just go off and get mutated and hopefully into something really beautiful in the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it truly is a collaborative process, and that's where the kind of the magic comes into all of it, because we all have our specialties, and the editor, I mean, having a good editor, a really good editor is phenomenal, because they can just take something and go with it, rearrange it, and make a story that we didn't really see was there originally. So it's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, you're shooting a lot of different stuff, and it's really great work. It's beautiful. I know, like, especially the Brothers film is beautiful, but you've shot a lot of other stuff, and I know you're getting ready to shoot some more features. So if folks wanted to check out, like, sort of like the beauty of your work, because there's a lot of it, how would they find your stuff?
My not-so-up-to-date reel is currently at michael-hartzel.com.
Okay. Which I would encourage folks to check it out, because it's great storytelling, but it's also great storytelling that gets connected to great imagery. So it's beautiful. Thanks for being on the show today.
Right. Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching this episode of Butter City. Thanks, Mike, for being on the show. Please check out his work and check out our website at buttercity.com. We're a show all about filmmaking with a Minnesota twist. Take care.